Part 1. The Temple of Five Villages. Spring arrived, the grass turned green, and the flowers bloomed. The team of 4 pilgrims climbed a high mountain that touched the clouds.
"This is a blessed mountain," Tang Sanzang said, looking at the pines and cranes. "There must be a good temple here." Wukong looked around. "There is. Look at the aura. It isn't a Buddhist temple, though. It's a Taoist sanctuary." They reached the gate. A stone tablet read, "Wu Zhuang Temple, the Temple of Five Villages." A couplet on the door boasted, "Long life as eternal as the southern mountain."
"Happiness as vast as the Eastern Ocean." "Big words," Wukong snorted. "Even the Jade Emperor doesn't brag this much." Inside, the temple was quiet.
The master of the temple, the great immortal Zhen Yuan, was away attending a lecture in heaven. He had left only 2 young disciples, Clear Breeze, 1,300 years old, and Bright Moon, 1,200 years old, to guard the place. The 2 boys greeted Sanzang politely. "Our master told us you were coming," Clear Breeze said. "He is an old friend of yours from a past life. Please come in and rest." Sanzang was confused. He didn't remember his past lives, but he accepted the tea. Part 2. The Fruit That Cries. The immortal Zhen Yuan had left specific instructions. Give the monk from the east 2 ginseng fruits.
But do not give any to his disciples, because they are wild animals. The boys went to the backyard to pick the fruit. This was no ordinary tree. It was the ginseng fruit tree, man-fruit tree.
"It was born before the universe separated into heaven and earth. It took 3,000 years to bloom, 3,000 years to fruit, and 3,000 years to ripen. In 10,000 years, it produced only 30 fruits."
The fruit looked exactly like a newborn baby. It had eyes, a nose, hands, and feet. It was about the size of a melon. The boys used a golden rod to knock 2 fruits onto a silk tray.
They brought them to Sanzang's room. "Teacher," Bright Moon said, "please eat this local delicacy to quench your thirst." Sanzang looked at the tray and gasped in horror. He jumped out of his chair. "Sinful!"
"Sinful!" Sanzang shouted. "These are human babies. They are not even 3 days old. How can you ask a monk to eat a child?" "It's a fruit, not a child," the boys explained. "Take it away!" Sanzang covered his eyes. "I will not look at it." The boys shrugged. They took the tray back to their room. "The monk is blind," Clear Breeze laughed. "This fruit makes you live for 47,000 years just by smelling it. If he doesn't want them, let's eat them ourselves." So the 2 boys sat in the kitchen and ate the magical fruits. Part 3. Pigsy's Ears. Walls have ears, especially when Zhubajie, Pigsy, is nearby. Pigsy was in the kitchen boiling water for the horse. He heard the boys eating. He smelled the sweet aroma. He drooled until his chest was wet. He ran to find Wukong. Brother Monkey, Pigsy whispered. "The boys are eating a treasure. It's a fruit that makes you live forever. The master refused it."
"Go steal some for us." "I'm the great sage," Wukong said lazily. "I don't steal." "Come on," Pigsy begged. "Just a taste. I'm dying of thirst." Wukong sighed. "Fine, but keep your mouth shut."
Wukong snuck into the garden. He saw the massive tree. He saw the fruits hanging from the branches, swinging gently in the wind. They looked like little babies sleeping. He climbed the tree. He didn't have the golden rod, so he just knocked a fruit with his iron staff. The fruit fell, but when it hit the ground, poof, it vanished. Where did it go? Wukong blinked. Did it run away? He summoned the land spirit. "Old man, did you steal my fruit?" "Great sage, no!"
The land spirit trembled. "This fruit is magical. It falls when it sees metal. It vanishes when it touches earth." "To eat it, you must catch it in silk or catch it in your hand." "Tricky," Wukong muttered. He pulled his shirt out to make a net. He knocked down 3 fruits, one for him, one for Pixie, one for Sandy.
Part 4. Swallowing it whole. Wukong brought the fruits back to the room. "Here," he whispered. "Eat quickly." Sandy examined his fruit. "This is rare. I saw this once at the peach banquet."
He took small bites, savoring the flavor. Wukong ate his slowly, enjoying the magic energy. Pixie, however, was greedy. He threw his head back, opened his massive mouth, and gulp.
He swallowed the fruit whole without chewing. "Hey, monkey," Pixie asked a second later, "what did it taste like?" "You ate it, you tell me," Wukong laughed. "I ate it too fast," Pixie rubbed his belly. "It just slipped down. I didn't taste anything. Brother, go get me another one. I promise to chew this time." "No," Wukong said. "There are only a few on the tree. Don't be greedy." Pixie grumbled loudly.
Stingy Monkey, Part 5. The Wrath of the Monkey. Meanwhile, the 2 boys, Clear Breeze and Bright Moon, went to count the fruits. They realized 4 were missing. 1 vanished into the ground. 3 were eaten.
They stormed into the guest hall. They pointed their fingers at the monks. "You thieves!" Clear Breeze shouted. "You bald-headed criminals! You pretend to be holy, but you rob our garden!" They insulted Sanzang.
They called him a hypocrite. They called Pixie a fat thief. They called Wukong a wretched ape. Sanzang was confused. "Disciple, did you steal?" "I took a few," Wukong admitted. "Thief, thief!"
The boys kept screaming insults. They were relentless. Wukong had a short temper. He could handle fighting demons, but he hated being scolded by children. The anger rose in his chest like fire.
"You want to see a thief?" Wukong growled. "I'll show you a thief." He plucked a hair and made a clone to stay in the room. His true body flew to the garden. He pulled out his massive golden staff.
"I'm not just going to steal the fruit. I'm going to end the argument." Crash! He smashed the tree trunk. He dug up the roots. He knocked down the branches. The leaves withered.
The fruits fell into the dirt and vanished. The ancient Ginseng fruit tree, the most valuable plant in the universe, lay destroyed in the mud.
Part 6. The Sleeve of the Universe. That night, the pilgrims snuck away while the boys were sleeping. "We got away with it," Pixie laughed as they walked under the moonlight. The next morning, the great immortal Zhen returned home. He saw the broken gate. He saw the crying boys. He saw the dead tree. He didn't scream. He didn't cry. He just nodded calmly. Sun Wukong.
"He has courage! Let's go find him!" Zhen Yuan rode a cloud and caught up to the pilgrims in minutes. "Monk!" Zhen Yuan called out from the sky. "Why did you destroy my tree and run away?" Wukong stepped forward.
"I did it! The tree is dead! What are you going to do about it, old man?" Zhen Yuan didn't use a weapon. He simply opened his wide sleeve. "Come here." He waved his sleeve. It became as big as the sky.
It created a suction force that no magic could resist. Swoosh! Sanzang, Wukong, Pixie, Sandy, and the horse were all sucked into the sleeve of the universe. They were trapped in a dark dimension. Wukong couldn't tear the cloth. He couldn't transform out. Zhen Yuan brought them back to the temple and tied them to pillars.
Whip them, Zhen ordered. Give the master 30 lashes with the dragon skin whip.
Wait, Wukong shouted. My master didn't steal. I stole. Whip me instead. Fine, Zhen said. You are loyal. Whip the monkey. They whipped Wukong.
It didn't hurt him. He was made of stone and diamond, but it hurt his pride. Part 7, The Impossible Quest. That night, Wukong escaped. He untied everyone, and they ran away again.
But the next morning, Zhen caught them again. Swoosh, into the sleeve. Stop running, Zhen said calmly. You can run to the edge of the world, and I will still catch you. I am an earth immortal.
Even the Buddha owes me respect. Wukong realized he had met his match. This old man was too powerful. What do you want? Wukong asked. Simple, Zhen said. You killed my tree.
If you can bring the tree back to life, I will let you go. If not, I will boil your master in oil. Bring a dead tree back to life? Wukong scratched his head. That's hard.
I will give you 3 days, Zhen said. Go find a cure. Part 8, Visiting the Islands. Wukong traveled the universe looking for a cure. The star gods. He went to the 3 stars of luck, wealth, and longevity. Can you cure a dead magical tree? Wukong asked. We can give blessings, the stars said, but we cannot revive the dead.
That tree is older than us. We can't help. The islands of the East. He visited the Emperor of the East. I have an elixir for grass, the Emperor said, but for the ginseng tree, no.
The Ocean of the South. Finally, desperate and running out of time, Wukong flew to the purple bamboo grove in the South Sea. He found Guanyin. You monkey, Guanyin scolded, but she was smiling. You cause trouble everywhere you go. Why did you hurt the immortal Zhen? He is a very powerful ancestor. I didn't know, Wukong cried. I was angry. Please, do you have a cure? It just so happens, Guanyin said, that the sweet dew in my vase can revive anything. Once, Lousy bet me I couldn't revive a roasted willow tree. I sprinkled my water on it, and it grew leaves. Wonderful! Wukong cheered. Let's go! Part 9, The Revival. Guanyin and Wukong arrived at the Wuzhuang Temple. When Zhen saw Guanyin, he bowed respectfully. Bodhisattva, you honor my humble home.
My disciple was foolish, Guanyin apologized. Please forgive him. Guanyin walked to the dead tree. The trunk was snapped, the leaves were brown, and the roots were dry.
She dipped her willow branch into her vase. She sprinkled the sweet dew over the roots and the branches. She chanted a sacred mantra. Slowly, a green glow surrounded the tree. Crack! Snap!
The trunk knitted itself back together. The leaves turned green and lush, and suddenly, pop, 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 23 ginseng fruits appeared on the branches, plus the one that had vanished into the ground earlier. It is alive, Pigsy cheered, and the fruit is back. Part 10, The Banquet. The immortal Zhen was overjoyed. Great sage, Zhen laughed, patting Wukong on the back. You have quite the network of friends. Since you fixed my tree, I am not angry. Zhen ordered the boys to knock down 10 fruits. He held a ginseng fruit banquet. Tong Sanzang ate 1, now that he knew it wasn't a baby. Guanyin ate 1. The 3 disciples ate 1 each. Zhen ate 1, and the rest were shared. Because of this fruit,
Tang Sanzang's mortal body became lighter and healthier. He would now live long enough to finish the journey.
Before they left, the immortal Zhen Yuan burned yellow paper and swore an oath of brotherhood with Sun Wukong. "You and I are brothers now," Zhen Yuan said. "If you ever need help, call me." Wukong laughed.
I usually fight my enemies, but sometimes I make friends with them instead. The crisis was averted. The team packed their bags, thanked the immortal, and continued west.
But as the temple faded into the distance, the landscape began to change. The green hills turned into jagged white rocks. The air grew cold and ominous. "Master," Wukong sniffed the air, "I smell something dead."